Thank you for tuning in to Think Tech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Seress. At Think Tech, we're here to raise public awareness about science, technology, energy, globalization, diversification, and all that other fun stuff. But really, the most exciting thing is our new series, and it's called The Next Big Thing, or NBT. And with NBT, we try to bring on new companies, particularly here in Hawaii, and others we find across the world, to find out what they're doing and see how they're making their dent in society. Think about it. Have you ever asked yourself how those big companies got formed? HP, Dell, Google, Microsoft, they all got started with people who worked late at night, who became cultural icons. They worked at their kitchen tables, in their garage, drinking soda, eating chips, and having a big dream. And this week, we have two companies with big dreams themselves. And we want to give them that exposure. We want to give them that little Think Tech bump. And so we're hoping that we're going to find the next big company here on Think Tech. So with us today is Hoala Greevy. Oh, he's making faces. Hoala Greevy, he's with Undefeated Games. He's going to talk about his next big thing, which is the Dare Share app. Now, in the second half of the show, we have Alex, Bergo and Aaron Rosa of Sift Tools. Their company is hoping to change the way that audiences communicate and to be more effective in making decisions in companies, in groups, and in schools. So I'm really looking forward to that too. So Hoala, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now you have the next big thing, and I've heard about your app in the past. And in fact, I think you were on Think Tech a few months ago, but we didn't get a chance to really jump into what your app can do. And you and I are part of the Manoa Innovation Center, so
correct.
I think we bumped into each other late night one night.
Yep.
This week, yeah. Yep. What was it, midnight, and you were sleeping on a couch? And
yep.
You're doing the exact thing that I was describing. You're working late. You're sitting at a table drinking soda and eating chips or water. I see you have water under the table, and you're making the next big thing. So tell me, why is your product Dare Share the next big thing?
Well, Attila, I would like to backtrack. Twitter in the news, IPO rumors, they're going to go. And I think one of the next big things is because in their SEC documents, they're trying to differentiate between real and automated and botnet accounts. And I think the next big thing is Twitter is going to become Skynet within 2 to 3 years. So that's one of the next big things.
So what you need to do is you need to get the Terminator doing planking using your app.
AI, talking to AI.
Yeah, AI to AI, because there could be social media for AI, right?
Yep.
But I don't know about Twitter. It's kind of tough because they're not monetizing yet.
They're making money, but yeah.
They're not profitable.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just like Facebook. I mean, it had a lot of hype, and then
yeah. So I was thinking about that on the way over. So Twitter came to mind. Smartphones becoming part of botnets. So smartphones getting hacked and being used to send spam or infect other phones. I think that's another big thing coming up. I think long-term health effects from smartphone usage is another big thing. I'm seeing some of that myself. And let's see, what's the other?
Do you have a tumor on the right side of your head? Is that what it is?
Fair and balanced, I'm left and right side. And then what's the other thing I was going to think of before I got here? Oh, consumer mobile continue to explode. So in a nutshell, that's what I think. Well,
I just heard today that there was the largest BitTorrent client in China. What's it called? It starts with an X. I can't pronounce it. But it affected all the smartphones in China and all the computers in China. So they're slowing down the torrenting. Go figure. We're off track. Tell us about your app. What is it?
Dare Share is an app that gets people to do funny, silly things and share it. We're in 43 countries right now. We're trying to get
43?
Yeah. Wow. We're trying to get to 100,000 users by December. We realized that we can advertise and acquire users for about $1 a user using various mobile channels. But that doesn't scale for a startup. So what we're doing is, and my main job these days is growth hacking, which is creative ways to reach a singular objective, which that is gaining users. So that's what I do most, at least 50% of the day now.
So kind of like the PR guy.
Yeah, just trying to make it happen, make it rain.
And so your app makes them do silly things. And so how do you get people to do it? How do you get people to do silly things?
So one of the new features we're building out, and I can't believe it took us this long to figure it out, or me to figure it out, is when you think of the word dare, you never think of it. It's an inherently social definition. It's always 2 or more people, and right now our app could be better at doing that. So we're going to build out a way that you can use the app to dare a friend, and so the app would be an intermediary. Yeah, and then we use social pressure to get them to complete the dare, and after completing the dare, you can dare them back. So we're building that out. That's one of our primary focuses right now.
Now, of course, every week we like to have an app of the week, and this week's app is the Dare Share app.
All right.
So can we demonstrate? Can we do a dare?
That's
can
a
we
great
challenge?
segue, because we're also trying to we think a signal of success for Dare Share is to create our own meme. And I wrote a blog post about this earlier this week because I was surprised that a lot of people in our demographic are not sure what it means. But it's a piece of culture, popular culture, mimicked and spread quickly through internet, social media.
So what's a popular meme?
Well, we're trying to create our own meme, Attila, and we're calling it the Manoa Falls. And I brought a bottle of water.
Okay.
And I need your help doing the Manoa Falls. So I'm going to give you a choice. You can either do the pouring or do the consuming. Tell me which one you want to do.
Well, we have a lot of equipment in the studio.
Yeah.
I think that if I were to do any of these, it might damage something. And there might be someone very angry sitting there behind the cameras who'd do something about
I also
this.
brought a towel. Thought ahead. So how about this? You got more equipment than me. I'm going to take off my mic. You're going to hold this bottle at least a foot above me. Pour it as best you can into my mouth, and I'll have this as a shield. And that's the Manoa Falls, and that's what we're trying to make our own internet meme.
Okay, let's pretend. Let's pretend that it's happening. How about this? I'll keep the top of the bottle on, and we can take a picture that way. How's that sound?
All right, I'll do a selfie Manoa Falls.
Yeah, there we go. Well,
all right, hold on a second. Let's see if I can get my
you should have
camera
known
here.
better. Look, you see how much stuff there is around
That's
here?
even more fun.
Yeah.
All right, go
All
for
right,
it.
So I'm gonna pour it on you. There we go. We're gonna pretend like it's going in your mouth. And for those of you watching, you can.
There you go, Manoa Falls.
There you go, Manoa Falls.
Yeah, so I'll post it later to Dare Share and Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, okay, so we take that picture of you. Can we show it to the cameras?
Yeah, let's see. What's the best way to do that?
Well, just hold it up, and then.
Okay.
I think those people who are watching online can see it.
Sure.
Either that, or we can put it on my iPad, which is a little bit bigger.
Sure.
But,
Let me find a good one here.
Yeah, let's get a good picture.
I think this one is so we can do with beverages, you can do it with food, you can do it with cheese dip spray. So
But we're still not sure. Like, what is a meme? Like, tell me what a meme is.
So it's a piece of popular culture. So in this case, it would be a destination like the Manoa Falls hike, but now we're putting a creative twist on it. And if you're in college and you think of Manoa Falls, it would be some kind of beverage pouring into your mouth at distance.
So is Dancing Baby, is that a meme?
Yeah, it is. There's actually a website you can go to, knowyourmeme.com, and it's like the IMDb of memes. So it's got an authoritative listing and examples and pictures and stuff like that.
And so this is how people get popular on the internet, right? They want to hit the jackpot with that meme.
Either by accident or by design, most of the time by luck.
Yeah, most of the time it's accident, because isn't everyone trying to do something silly?
That's the $100 million question. How do you go viral?
So do you have any celebrities who've done anything with Dare Share yet?
We have a few. We have some from the Hawaii Five-0 cast. We've had a submission by a cousin of a famous singer, and there's a few others I'd like to reach out and touch. A DJ and some other actresses. So I think once we get some more critical mass, it'll be a more compelling story.
Well, plus when you have people challenging each other.
Yeah, I think that's going to be increase the virality for sure. Our viral coefficient needs to be a lot stronger, so we're working on that.
So can I bring up some very cool pictures that you have? Is it online maybe where we can take a look? So do you have them all posted? Do you have like your top?
It's got that funny domain name I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
Dareshot.re.
Dare Shots.
So Dare Share, but .re.
.re.
Yeah.
Dareshot.re. It's not coming up. I think.
No.
As a technology company, you should have a website that works.
Well.
You're starting to sweat a little bit there. That's the point here.
It's a domain name that was incorrectly typed.
By the way, while he's typing, I'm going to mention to the camera that you can always come down to our ThinkTech studios every Friday, and we also have shows throughout the week, so be sure to check our calendar at thinktechhawaii.com. You can join our studio audience, you can heckle our guests, which I'm giving them a clue to do, and ask questions and be a part of the conversation. So be sure to check that out, thinktechhawaii.com. All right, great. So we have a picture of, this looks like, this is another Manoa Falls. And the picture here we go, is showing, it looks like, who's this?
It's Orange Cheese Whiz.
Orange Cheese Whiz, all right. Yeah. Orange Cheese Whiz going inside of, and now the trip to the toilet afterwards is, I'm guessing, not on this website.
We're gonna have to come up with another name for that. Alamana Bowls. How about that?
I think that's something I saw on Tosh.0. My gosh.
Hey, we'd love to be on there too.
And,
It'd be great.
And that can go so many wrong directions. So
Depends what you mean by wrong. Viral's never wrong.
And there you go. So silly picture. So now that you've made this app, this new addition to the app, when's that coming out?
Shoot. Well, when you submit to the App Store, we've seen it takes between 4 and 7 days for approval, and so we're probably at least a week from submitting. So a couple weeks.
How many people are writing this app? Is this just you or other people?
We recently brought on a second developer. I've got an intern. I've got a designer. So we're a small team. Hopefully we can move quickly because we're so small.
So you're doing the development and you're doing the PR yourself.
I'm just directing I'm micromanaging the development. I'm not doing any code. And then I'm doing the whole growth hacker thing, which I think is kind of interesting and fun.
Growth hacking.
Yeah.
Now, how can I do growth hacking?
Well, I'm gonna get this infomercial going, and for $19.95, I can give you this special package. No, I'm just joking. There's a lot of books and internet research out there. Dean Levitt, I had tea with him yesterday, and I think he's a pretty knowledgeable source in Hawaii for that. So if you haven't had him yet, I'd suggest you invite him on. Mad Mimi.
Oh, the Mad Mimi guy.
Yeah, Dean.
Oh, he's here. That's right.
Yeah, came back, got his visa renewed.
Ah, okay. He's from England, I believe. Yeah.
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
It all kind of sounds similar. Yeah, it just depends on who you talk to, right?
Yeah.
And so they've been able to create a successful company by not having an office at all.
Yeah.
And it's all word of mouth,
is great. Yep. Yeah, interesting story.
And so, are you hoping to follow that model?
I've done offshore, and I prefer to have everyone in the same office. I just think it's better. But having customers all over the world, that's great, and that's what they're doing, so that's awesome.
Well, they have customers all over the world, and you said you're in how many countries now?
43.
43 countries.
Yeah,
Does that mean you've had to translate the app into different languages?
No, they're just doing it in English. So I think once we get once we perfect the iPhone flow, user experience, user interface, good ways for growth, our localization, porting to Android, things like that. But I think it's just a waste of time and money until we can really nail down that the iPhone side of things. So that's what we're focusing our energy on.
And so you mentioned that your customer acquisition cost is about $1 a head, right?
If we advertise.
So how do you make that back? Just a basic question, you know.
So our monetization strategy, which I think will be a lot more effective once we have much bigger critical mass, is are you familiar with software as a service, SaaS? So we want to do funny photos as a service, or FPaaS. No one's doing it. This is our idea, and we're basically trying to monetize on the act of taking a funny photo, a dare, in a public place. And so we've got some test programs going on that, and we're looking to make the program better.
There's a few funny photo sites now, but they're all advertiser supported.
Right. So for example, with Hokulani Bake Shop, they've got 3 locations. They're opening a 4th at Windward Mall, November 1st, Tushar. And so what we're doing is a rewards for dares program. So if a customer walks into a Hokulani Bake Shop, picks the Hokulani sponsored dare in DareShare, which is wear a cupcake. So whatever kind of creative way you want to wear a cupcake, smash it, eat it, balance it, whatever. They'll get a free cupcake with purchase. So what we're hoping to do is, the customer gets a reward, the retailer gets social proof because the customer is doing this there and sharing it to their social networks, Facebook, Twitter, email.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a clever way of marketing and advertising your brand. And then we on the Dare Share side, we get the content and the user acquisition. And if we can prove this model works, we certainly feel it'll be justifiable to insert fees for doing that. Because, what's it worth for someone to be doing something funny with a product to their 1,000 Facebook friends who then share it exponentially on and on. So our job will be to prove the model works, figure out a good price point, and then produce analytic reports for the retailers that justify what value they're getting out of the program.
But most of these pictures are going to be taken by people in their living room with Cheese Whiz and water. I mean, it's
the dare for the Hokulani dare is wear a cupcake. So if they're in the store, they can do it there. If they're out on the market sidewalk, whatever, So it really depends where they want to be, and we're asking them to do a specific dare, not a Manoa Falls, but that specific dare for that.
So you want to do a dare that involves a product,
yeah,
and you want to kind of scale that up. It's interesting because did you see what Domino's did when they did their revamp a few years ago?
I don't remember it.
Oh yeah, so Domino's Pizza, right, was known for, they've been around 50 plus years. They were known for their 30-minute service, right? But their pizza tasted very poor.
Like the box it came in?
Pretty much. But people didn't really care because it was cheap, and what they pushed, right, was the speed of service. But eventually they could not deliver the pizza in 30 minutes any longer. We live in like this litigious society, and people are taking advantage of it. And as a food company, having pizza that doesn't taste very good is not very good for business. And so part of that was that they did a revitalization, and a lot of it was in honesty. So they changed their formula, but they also acknowledged their errors. And one of the errors, and this is how I'm getting to your app, was that there was this criticism with customers that the pizza that they saw on the TV was not the same pizza that you see in your box when it gets there. Right?
Yeah.
And so they invited their users, so people who purchased their pizzas, to take their pictures of their pizzas. So they had pictures of the kids eating the pizza, and the dog eating the pizza, and all these things that surrounded activities that had the pizza in the middle of it,
right.
And they posted all to their site, showing that the pizzas that you see on your television screen are the same that you get on your table, right? But there were maybe about 2 or 3% of these pizzas that were really gross, right? They screwed up.
Right.
It was understandable, and not everything's going to be perfect. And they took their marketing campaign and they said, okay, we're going to take the social media, which is already out there of their products, and we're going to move it to mass media. So they make commercials surrounding their faulty pizzas and how they made it right.
Right.
So I wonder if you could, taking a lesson from Domino's, who's obviously a big player, they've been around a long time, if you could take and monetize in the same way, somehow approach Domino's and say, wouldn't it be great to have this Dare Share app, maybe give a small discount on pizza, and then at the same time monetize on that and say, look, for every person who does a share, who does a Dare Share with my pizza product, so wear a pizza, or put on a pizza dress, or your dog eating a pizza, which is, I think, half the pizzas end up in dogs' mouths. Jay's laughing. I think he knows. So
I read it was 33%.
It's 33%?
Yeah.
1/3 of all pizzas end up.
Yeah.
I know my dog. I got 2 of them. They go on either side. They work together. They got one that can jump really high. It jumps up, grabs the pizza down. The second one goes in for the kill.
Wow.
Right?
It's like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
So that was how they were able to recover. So I wonder if that story, you can translate that story, maybe not necessarily Domino's, but walk over to pizza and say, look, worked for Domino's, it could work for you. Use a Dare Share.
Well, I was thinking about the Burger King reduced fat fries. I forget the name of it, but they're less fat but less taste. And if you did a Dare Share on that, maybe that kind of social proof might make people forget about the reduction in taste. Just ideas, but we really gotta hone the model here, I think, and have our boots on the ground, really just crank. So I think there's applications for it.
So your idea is really gain momentum from a large customer base, kind of like what Facebook did.
Yeah.
And then once you get that huge customer base, you can start monetizing.
Yep. So we're seeing a little bit of user friction when they're interested in the offer, but they don't want to bother to download the app. So we're going to have to figure out how to get that. And I think if there's a mass, like a critical mass of users with the app already installed, I think that'll be largely overcome. So that's what we're seeing as of 2 weeks from now.
One thing I was, who was it? It was the CEO of one of these big companies, Flickr or something like that. He was one of these big photo sharing companies. And he was on like late night PBS, when you and I are up. And it was interesting because he was saying, one thing about apps is that you get this huge migration of apps, of people who are going to download your app. So a lot of people are going to jump on your app, they're going to download it, but then they go just as quickly. So the thing I'm starting to see with a lot of apps that I put onto my iPad is that they have little hooks. So, you want to download this Tetris app? Great, we're going to do a little bit of Tetris here, but there's this wheel, there's this slot machine thing, and you can get more stuff. Or you can buy and upgrade.
Right.
I mean, so they have hooks. So it's not just you download an app and then you're done. It's you download the app, but then there's other hooks. There's upsells. I think the retail term is there's something that
free to play.
Yeah, it engages you to go do things. So I was even downloading like this Bejeweled game.
Yep.
And yeah, you can do Bejeweled in just boring switch the little gems format. But you can also take those jewels and kind of go on a journey. So you go through different lands and you have to solve different shaped puzzles and stuff like that. So then you want to get to the next land because the next land has got like snowmen in it. And you want to get into the snowman land. So I'm wondering how you can do Dare Share that way.
Well, so what a lot of apps have been realizing, and what I think the general public is not aware of, it's impossible to advertise your way to the top. You have to create habits, right? So why is it when an unread email has a red flicker? Why is every unread notification red and not blue? Because red causes anxiety and you want to make it go away. And there's all these hooks and all these successful apps that engage you to keep using it and to create a habit. And so we're trying to do those same things.
My company's main color is red. Maybe I should rethink that.
People pay attention.
Go away.
People pay attention. Why do you think Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook all have infinite scroll? Why is there never a more button? Why is that gone? Because you think you're going to spend 2 minutes looking at stuff and 20 minutes later you're doing the same thing. It's the variable reward that you never know what you're going to get and you keep scrolling. That's totally addicting, habit-forming usage that the general public is not aware of. I think mobile phones are more addictive than nicotine. Put me right here, I'll say it right now.
So
mobile phones are more addicted. There are more people addicted to their mobile phones than there are people addicted to nicotine. I'll say that right now. I'll go on the record. That's the next big thing.
The next big thing is
addiction.
Well, it's screen addiction, yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's true because I know that if you just want to look at it quantitatively, maybe about 3 weeks ago, I just started doing some LinkedIn connections. The next thing you know, I'm up to I think 300 plus now.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just because I go down the list and it just keeps scrolling of all these people you might know.
Yep.
Send them an invite.
Yep. Same thing.
So you're doing the same thing.
We're trying to. We don't have it all correctly done, but we've got the infinite scroll going. We've got push notifications with those jewels going. I mean, we're trying to do the best we can to emulate those successful formulas, or else you're just not going to survive. You have to create the habit to survive, in my opinion, on mobile.
So you're going to do the next software drug, which is the next app.
We hope so, yeah.
You're gonna expand it to every country, more than 42 countries.
We hope so.
And you're gonna monetize by getting major retailers
FPass
to pay for it.
Yeah, we just made it up. FPass. Funny photos as a service.
Funny photos as a service. Well,
yeah.
It's true. There is a huge amount of digital clutter. I mean, I have a number of photos on this thing, and who knows where they're gonna go when I lose it.
Mobile photos is hot. It's like looking into the sun. 1 billion smartphones October of last year, a projected 1.8 billion by December of this year, and 5 billion by 2015. There's never been an adoption of any other technology or service in the history of mankind.
And better yet, 2 years later, it's all going to go in the garbage. The batteries aren't going to work. There's going to be
That's the
new.
next big thing.
How do we get all that energy and all those precious resources we put into these devices? How do we get them back out?
They're just highly addicting. I get anxiety if I'm more than 15 feet away from my phone. I mean, no joke.
So talking from a true addict,
Yep.
Hoala Greevy,
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
yeah, from Undefeated Games. Stand by. We're going to be right back with our next company after the break.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel, founder of Think Tech Hawaii. We are a digital media nonprofit that covers things that matter to tech, energy, diversification, globalism, and progress for our state, the state of Hawaii. We broadcast on community television and on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. We also stream our shows and interviews live on the internet as both radio and video, and of course we post them here on YouTube. We collaborate with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association to present monthly luncheon programs on subjects of interest to the business community, and we write for the Honolulu Star Advertiser. ThinkTech works hard to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check out our website, thinktechhawaii.com, and come to our YouTube channel, Think Tech Hawaii. We hope you support our mission and that you like our work. I'm Jay Fidel. Mahalo.
Hi, how are you? You feeling good? Are you feeling lucky? Think Tech Hawaii, it puts a bubble in my bender. If you don't feel good, that's your fault. Now that's live TV, folks.
Hi, I'm Steve Petranek, editor of Hawaii Business Magazine, and I'm going to be part of Newsmorphosis 3, a look at online news in Hawaii. And along with me there will be Patty Epler of Civil Beat and HuffPost Hawaii, Malia Zimmerman of Hawaii Reporter, Jared Kuroiva of KHON, and moderating us all is Howard Dykes of Hawaii News Now. If you want to know how Hawaii it gets its news now and will be getting it in the future, you need to be at Newsmorphosis 3. That's at 11:30 on October 24th at the Plaza Club. See you then.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of Think Tech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our Think Tech talk shows. If you didn't know it, Think Tech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on Think Tech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
Aloha, I'm Nicole Horry for Think Tech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Horry. Mahalo.
We're back, and you're watching Think Tech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Seress. Join us on Friday, this Friday, and every Friday at thinktechhawaii.com. We're going to be talking about the next big thing. Our new series, acronymed NBT, is trying to find the next big company, the one that's out there doing something different, that's really going to make a difference and a change in our society. So, joining us in the studio is Alex Bergo and Aaron Rosa from a company called Sift Tools. They're recently admitted into the Blue Startups program. It's a venture accelerator here in Hawaii that aims to find companies that are doing something new and innovative, give them the funding and acceleration they need to get off the ground. So, guys, thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thanks for having us, Attila.
So, of course, this is called the next big thing.
It is.
You feel that you are the next big thing. So tell us, what is Sift Tools? I went to your website, sifttools.com, and it looks pretty, but I'm a little confused. So tell me, what is it, and how is it going to make a big difference in our society?
Okay, great. So Sift Tools and at our website, sifttools.com, is just a gateway into a suite of collaborative tools that live online. They leverage mobile devices, and they're primarily constructed to help people that are in meetings capture more value from those meetings, cut down on the wasted time, make them more efficient, more productive, and that's what Sift Tools is going to do.
So it's a meeting efficiency tool.
Absolutely. But not just online meetings, live meetings.
So us sitting around this table, what size meetings are we talking about?
Well, I mean, the primary meetings we've looked at so far has been meetings for participants, maybe 3, 4, up to large audiences. So it's not only like meetings, but it's meetings of all sizes. So the idea basically is from our own research and experience, we look at meetings in the US. Every day there's 11 million meetings, formal meetings. And
Outside of Starbucks.
yes.
Believe it or not,
Exactly.
yes.
And in these meetings, about I think the average professional in the U.S. spends 40% of his time in meetings, and half of that time is estimated to be a waste of time. We are trying
So 20% of our time is wasted
yeah, not
professional.
here, but in general.
in general. And a
The
meeting.
survey says,
Yeah.
yes, 20%.
And then this leads to basically yearly estimate of $38 billion just a waste. If you ask the company's bosses, the people that organize these meetings and have needs them for their company, they will tell you that the basic notion of letting the meetings not happen is not a good idea. The meetings have to happen. So the idea is basically to create these efficiencies in the meetings, make people go through it faster, let all the opinions be heard, and then get better results out of it.
So 20%, that 20% is your magic buffer, right? You want to get that, as you mentioned, you have 40% of these meetings that
Yep.
occur.
Yep.
20%, you want to cut that in half. So 20%. So how does this software that you guys have created, is it an app or what is it exactly?
Well, it lives online, right? So it's in the cloud, and it allows people with any internet-connected mobile device to engage with the processes at hand. Now, I'll go into that a little bit more. One thing I did want to say was in regards to what Alex was just saying, like this $37 billion waste, right? It's broken down into, there's a few major complaints, and that's what we're trying to have our product address. One is when people monopolize the voice of the room, they don't let everybody else participate.
I see. So your product addresses these specific problems that have been identified.
Yeah. I mean, the same survey that's giving us these numbers is saying these are the major complaints of the people that are participating in these meetings. So there's disorganized, rambling meetings that have no end. There's people that just won't let other people participate. There's even like 9% of the people surveyed said, "Oh, sleeping." Either they were falling asleep or somebody else was falling asleep in the middle of a meeting. And these aren't just like, oh, a community meeting. It's, people are getting paid to be there
Or go to school.
or go to school.
There you go.
Or go to school.
That's a classic
Right.
conundrum, right?
Right.
Falling asleep in
Right.
English class.
That's a terrible one. But then there's a third one where it's like, a fourth one where mobile phones are becoming a distractive influence. So we decided, like, if you want people to participate, why not engage the technology that's already present in the room and let them use their phones, use their tablets. You don't need to buy any fancy extra hardware to help these meetings happen. You can use the hardware that's already in the room to get over some of these hurdles. So
how do we get over the guy who just won't stop talking and won't let you talk? And it just keeps interrupting you and keeps going over.
Well, if he keeps going,
I think Alex gets it.
Yeah.
It's me.
But if Alex gets it, he can engage his phone and be like, well, that's fine, but I'm going to keep giving my opinion.
I mean, we're not trying to replace meeting facilitators. They are still needed. We are trying to engage with technologies that actually create these support the processes that they're already engaging in. And so by allowing people to all participate at the same time and then feed the results back into the conversation, we get better results out of it. I think we looked at statistics saying that if people get better organizations and better organized meetings, the efficiencies in the companies are leveraged in actual monies. I mean, there's high numbers.
Well, here in Hawaii, we're notorious for homeowners associations. You know those tall condos? Meetings will go on all night long because everyone wants to complain about something. So what about your app could help this out? Could there be some sort of polling involved?
Definitely. Polling is one of them. We do brainstorming if you try to get...
so should we all vote on the new barbecues,
exactly,
right?
the new barbecues. You could do
so everyone
polling.
just presses it on their phone.
You can even have people create questions for panels at the same time. Then you can vote on those questions to see which are the most important ones. And that way you get the better opinions come to the top and they are asked first.
So instead of people raising their hand say aye, they would say
vote.
Right.
That would be it.
They wouldn't.
So
there'd be no
yeah,
tallying in the room,
exactly.
no pencil and paper coming out like, okay, who voted this and that.
Or they wouldn't be looking like, hey, Auntie, you said you were going to not vote on this. Why are you voting on this?
Can't vote twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's one thing. I mean, another thing is collecting the information, especially for strategy meetings for businesses. Capturing the information is one thing, but also collecting it and creating reports is another big thing. And so we do that for them.
Huge waste of time. Or not waste of time, it's just a huge time investment in doing that. Capturing and then synthesizing real results, meaningful results for people.
So putting those reports online.
If that's what they choose to do. I mean, for these meetings in particular, there's probably proprietary information, secure information. So each of the sessions is secure and privatized. So that information, the team facilitator, he or she gets to do what they want with the results. If they want to kick it up to their boss and say, here are the takeaways from our meeting, they can do that. If they want to share it socially, because it's that kind of a poll, it's that kind of a meeting, hey, what kind of new grills are we going to have? Oh, we're going to have this, brand X. Awesome. Let everybody in your social group know. Those will be options, but not necessarily, they're options. People can.
So people can, and so you have those statistics, and really that's what gives your product the advantage. Because I've seen this on game shows.
Sure.
Right? On game shows, they say, okay, what does the audience says? Yeah. In fact, I think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Right? They had the little
real-time polling.
Real-time polling, like audience assistance, right?
Oh, it's option C.
Yeah, option C. So that it's kind of it's been done, but now you're bringing it to classrooms and to meetings.
Yeah. We're making it easier to deploy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the space, there's a lot of competition, which for us validates the market. We're not the only one in the market. What we are doing, we have the knowledge to make it a better product. So our backgrounds actually we are 3 people in the company. It's me, Aaron, my wife, Vil. We're all academics and have a lot of experience using tools. Pen and paper versions of these tools have been used for 20, 30 years. But we have the knowledge to make them a lot better than the existing solutions out there. And we make them advanced, but we also split them up in very easy to use steps. So the idea is actually to create this, to make it easier to conduct meetings that have complex end results, but in an easy way.
In an easy way, right. We want to take the focus off the technology, use the technology, leverage it, but take the focus off of it. Our interfaces are simple, they're easy to understand, one field at a time, and they walk people through a relatively complex process. So they present those amazing results, right? That's what people are in the meeting for. People have questions, they need to answer them with the people they're with. Sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes it's a complicated issue that needs to be addressed. Stepping through that in a simple kind of fluid manner allows you to generate these really complex results, provide a lot of texture to those issues, but do it in a way that is not hard to grasp. The interface is easy.
So does this need to be customized for every organization, or do you have like a set of templates that you're creating? How's this going to work?
Yeah, you can customize it, but we also have templates, so it's easy to use. If you, for instance, in business classes as long as the MBA has been given, people learn about the SWOT analysis or business canvas, weaknesses, opportunities, threats.
Oh, yeah.
The idea is that if you ask somebody also, what are the strengths? And what are the opportunities and what are the weaknesses? It's actually kind of a hard question if you bring everything to the table. What we can say is that we can start brainstorming what are the most important parts of this company, and then we can start evaluating those features, and then we plot them out in the graphs for them.
So it's kind of like SurveyMonkey gone mobile with more
On steroids.
Yeah, steroids. Bigger bananas, definitely.
bigger banana. It could be bigger melons, I guess. Depends on the conversation.
That's true. Oh, let's not go down that
Yeah.
path. Okay, bring it
Well,
right
that was the first half of the show. Yeah.
We like to
Yeah.
say surveys. Yeah, we
We're
do
trying
that
to follow
too.
up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your surveys are going to give them. And do you have some sort of upsell like with SurveyMonkey, where you get like 10 questions and then you have to pay a little bit more?
Sure.
Are you using a freemium model? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, we are software as a service. We are still working on the pricing model. We're doing customer interviews. We were actually accepted pretty early in our development of our company. So, so we're still working on the pricing model. But that's basically the thought now, is to have a freemium model and then upsell with branding and more advanced templates.
Do you have any customers?
No, we haven't even launched the app yet.
Yeah.
So
Alpha
we are
testing
we're
soon.
moving into public beta in a week or so.
Oh, in a week.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to. Is it going to go on the iTunes store, or where's it going to go?
No, this
App
is a
Store?
web app, so we are on our own store, basically.
Yeah. We
So
have
there's
our
no
own-
app to download. The idea is that if you're in the meeting, you don't want to download a big chunk of data first. So we make it really lightweight, so all mobile users can use it. It's platform independent.
Kind of like Craigslist. I can just bring it up on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
need
your tablet, or your
Yeah.
computer. That's how easy
we
wanna
actually
make this
designed
stuff.
the interface to be like an app, like a downloadable app, but it's basically not. It's
Yeah.
online.
We hope everybody goes and uses it in a week when we do the public beta launch, and then you'll see for yourself.
You need to do
Great
a dare
interface.
share with another. Yeah.
Dare you to use this.
Daring you to use this app, and maybe get some sort of. You can get Starbucks involved. You know, wouldn't that be great?
We have quite a few markets that we're looking at to sort of push the product out. I mean, obviously the products won't market themselves, so we are doing the general product advertisements on online. Yeah, but
Google
we're also going to go be present at events and other.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So everyone shows up in events. Can you do like a concert even, or something like that?
We are set up to scale that large. That's why we say meetings of every size. So it could be a boardroom meeting, very important stuff, or if you want to pull an audience, you can do that
Like a
too.
TV show? Could a TV show do this?
Yep.
That's the thing. I've seen them use Twitter for this specifically.
Yeah.
You know, you just do submit as a hashtag. So if you feel that we need going back to our homeowners association meeting,
Right.
which is a good size meeting. It's probably about 30, 40 people. If you feel that you want to do new barbecues, do hashtag BBQ.
Right. Or if you want to
And we're
poll
done.
the stadium and say, hey, maybe next year we should have a different kind of light beer.
Yeah, there you
Why
go.
not? do it?
I mean, on Twitter, you don't control as well the content
That's
coming
right.
through. So if you have it on a big screen and somebody really wants to prank you, they could write whatever and it pops right back up. We let the meeting facilitators actually control the content better, so that not every single piece of content comes through. Depend on the setup for that meeting.
So the meeting person, could pull the audience, post it up on the on a big board, and see what you think about it.
Yep. And then take those results and do something else with them. So
Because it's this weird thing, it reminds me of kind of like a church environment. How many of you guys feel, in this particular environment that you should be behaving in this way or that way, and you can post that information. But one thing about church is you can't go in there with your phone or tablet, and people are going to look at you and think
Can't
you're
you?
a bad person. No, it's taboo there. So, or at least that's how it's been in
some
my
people kind
experience.
of just sneak, They
Yeah, they kind of sneak a little.
Yeah.
I got an email. Right. So they assume you're checking email. So
Right.
how do you get around that taboo of bringing in? Because that's the trend I see is that they're
Absolutely.
getting rid of electronic devices in meetings. Everyone wants you to turn off your phones. Like when we first came to the studio, the first thing I said was, put your phones on vibrate, and keep it quiet because during the show we don't want them beeping and making noise.
Right.
So in meetings, that's the direction I see things going. How are you going to reverse that?
Well, I mean, so the idea is to engage people with their devices. We can actually see who's connected or not. Even if it's a web app, we can fully see who's participating, so that if students are in the classroom and the teacher wants them to use our screen, we can see that right on the on our connected screen.
Oh, so you see like who's checked in.
Yeah.
Like these are the people who are checked in.
Right. And now Aaron is checked out. What is he doing?
Well, I was thinking about like, why do people want to remove digital devices? And it's because they want people to be engaged in the room, right? And they feel like, okay, the digital device is a distraction point. Well, at the same time, you've got this other move where you take even more simple digital devices, let's say a clicker, right? There are upswings in clickers being deployed in college and high school. Clickers, like you got a 12-button keypad, and you're still doing the same things. You're voting. I'm imagining that there's something really important, or something that at least interests you more than this conversation on there right now. That's fine. But
nothing.
Oh,
I was illustrating a point.
No, I know.
That it's distracting. It's tough. You have a big challenge to get around.
What if? I mean, but the reason that these clickers are even deployed is because people want to. There's a move towards integrating these things, so it's less top-down, voice to the masses type thing. It's more, what are you guys thinking out there? Bring that into the conversation. Let's steer the conversation to that. So why use a clicker that's overpriced for less technology when everybody's already got really smart devices in their hands, in their pockets, muted in their purses? Why not just use what's already there?
It's true. I agree with you. I just think you have a real tough time. You're gonna have a real tough time trying to get a presenter. I mean, I presented in front of people, and I can tell when someone's kind of starting to zone out because the phone starts to kind of come on up.
Yeah.
And it starts. And then I need to get more interesting,
But I really think it's because people want to engage in that conversation.
Exactly.
And by using our tools, you are actually letting them be part of your conversation.
Yeah.
As a researcher, why not, while I'm presenting my research, why not do research in the room while presenting the research?
Right.
That's double time for my time,
You've got experts in the room who, theoretically have been thinking about your research. Get their opinions right there. They're in the room already.
Oh, so what you're saying is maybe put a time and place for your app and a time and place for presenting. So as a presenter, you would say, so are you going to do like presenter training, like how to use our app a little bit better?
Yes.
Yeah.
So something like, okay,
Absolutely.
I'm going to present to you this topic, because you mentioned researchers. Let's go to the school analogy. I'm a researcher, I got this new idea. Cool. What do you guys think of this? Now I'll bring out your app, and I'm going to go grab coffee while you all vote.
But you can also have them participate in the discovery of new areas of research. So, for instance, if you do expert polling, let people participate in that process. You can let them engage with the topic in a completely new way, not pre-made surveys, but you can help them create that survey while you're actually doing the survey.
So let me ask you something. Why have schools not done this yet?
With the mobile devices?
Mobile device polling, sure.
Well, first of all, a lot of the technology companies that are in ed tech are actually moving that way. But there's the control, like you brought up. Like, how do you make sure that they're not doing something else? So the monitoring of what are they using their smart devices for? That's been a really big barrier to get smartphone and tablet integration into classrooms. But it's being overcome. There are now more and more investments in technology that are saying, okay, you can monitor or control what that device is doing. If you see it doing X, Y, or Z in a different application,
so now as a teacher, you're going to say, Jimmy over there, put down, log out of Facebook.
You can do that. What I think we should do is the taser, right? So we just send out an electrical thing, and the student, it's just a light shock. It's actually proven to be good for mental faculty.
It sounds to me like you don't exactly have a very good answer for this.
This is not. Yeah, I'm just totally just joking. But what I was basically trying to get at was that there is a move by technology companies to further integrate these mobile devices that are already in the classroom. Controlling and monitoring those devices continues to be an issue, but that's what we feel some technologies are capable of doing.
And that's the thing. We have. I remember at UCLA we had dampeners. You walked into these big classrooms, no phones worked at all. Period. because they didn't want that kind of data exchange.
But most classrooms these days are wirelessly connected, so you would have wireless connections in most classrooms. I think we're looking at, most people also have the smartphones. In our markets is over 95% of people have the smartphones already. And so even if you don't get cell phone coverage, there's always wireless.
Well, all I know is that if anyone here is watching for a weekend project, something they could put on GitHub or SourceForge, this sounds like you've opened the doors for that, so be careful. You guys have a great product. You just gotta...
I think it might be more than a couple-day product.
Yeah.
But, you know, we see, I mean, GitHub when you're crowdsourcing stuff, you know, that's always a challenge.
You can do a lot, so...
That's right.
Best of luck to you guys. I really want to see this thing work, and be sure to let us know here at ThinkTech when you launch. You said it's a couple weeks, so we'll make the announcement on the air. So those of you who are watching, be sure to look for that announcement. So that's going to be from Alex Bergo and Aaron Rosa, and that company is called Sift Tools. Look out for that product. Thank you guys so much for coming on the air. We really appreciate it. And
great to meet you, Attila.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, I'm sure.
Thank you.
And you know, and if you missed any part of this program, be sure to visit thinktechhawaii.com. I'm your host, Attila Seress. We were here with Alex Bergo and Aaron Rosa of Sift Tools, and earlier on the show, we had Hoala Greevy of Undefeated Games with his app, Dare Share. Well, remember to appreciate life, do good to others, and have a great weekend. Aloha.